Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the 9J notes on axis of symmetry and vertex. At the end of this, you should be able to say that I can find the vertex of a quadratic function and sketch its graph. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is take a look at axis of symmetry. That's x equals negative b over 2a when in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And we were using this in the last couple of sections, so this should hopefully look pretty familiar. Okay. We know that the vertex of a quadratic function is on the axis of symmetry. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is the same as the axis of symmetry. Once we find the x value, we plug that back in to find the y-coordinate of the vertex. Okay, and again we did that last section. So let's take a look. So let's do example 31 from page 306. Determine the coordinates of the vertex of y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 1. So we're going to use our formula that they give us here. X equals negative b. So let's see. A is 2, b is negative 8, c is 1. So x equals negative 8 over 2 times a, which is 2. Right? So we get x equals 8 over 4, or x equals 2. Okay? So that's the x-coordinate of the vertex. Now we want to find the y-coordinate. So once we know the x-coordinate, to find the y-coordinate, again what we're talking about up here is just plug the x-coordinate in and figure out what y is. So for the y-coordinate, we get y equals 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 1. So y equals 2 squared is 4 times another 2 is 8 minus 16 plus 1, and we'll get that y equals negative 7. So coordinates of the vertex of this quadratic function is 2 and negative 7. Okay, let's take a look at another example. And that would be example 32 from page 307. For this function here, find the axes intercepts, find the equation of the axis of symmetry, find the coordinates of the vertex, and then sketch the graph showing all these things here. So this is a little bit more entailed, but that's good. We can figure this all out. So for part A, find the axes intercepts. Let's first start with the x-intercepts. That usually seems to be pretty easy. So that's when y equals 0. Excuse me. So we get 0 equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 3. Alright, I don't like dealing with negative leading coefficients, so I'm going to just multiply the whole equation here by negative 1. So 0 still is 0, and then we'll get x squared minus 2x minus 3. This is going to be nicer to factor. So we get the factors of 3 that have a difference of 2 would be 3 and 1, right? This sign always goes with the bigger of the two factors. This sign tells us that the signs are opposite. So the x-intercepts are 3 minus 3 gives us 0, and negative 1 plus 1 gives us 0 as well. Okay, so here we go. X-intercepts are 3 and negative 1. Let's also look for the y-intercept. So our y-intercept is when we're gonna plug 0 in for the x's, right? So y equals negative 0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 3. These both turn into 0, so our y-intercept is at 3. Okay, so we found both the axes intercepts, the x's and the y. Alright, so next thing, let's find the equation of the axis of symmetry. So that's going to be x equals negative b, and again I usually like to use the original one, so a is negative 1, b is 2, c is 3. We could have also used this new one here, so you could have done x is 1 and b is negative 2 instead, but either way you'll get the same thing. So we get negative 2 over 2 times negative 1. So for this we get negative 2 over -2. So the equation of the axis of symmetry is x equals 1 for part B. Okay. Next, let's take a look at, let's find the coordinates of the vertex. Okay. Well, we already figured out that the axis of symmetry is x equals 1, so we know that the x coordinate of the vertex is 1. So let's find the y coordinate by plugging that in and solving. So y equals negative, and then we have 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 3. So y equals 1 squared is 1, and then multiplied by -1 is -1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3. So the y coordinate will be 4. So we'll put that right in here, and there's our vertex. And then the last thing says sketch the function showing all the important features. So let's graph this thing. Okay. Alright, so first thing, let's do our x-intercepts, which are at 3 and -1. We'll then do the y-intercept, which we know is at 3. Now we can take a look at the axis of symmetry, which is at x equals 1. So let's draw ourselves a nice little dotted line right here. There's your axis of symmetry at +1. And then your vertex is at 1, 4. Okay, so with that gives us plenty of information to sketch our graph. It should look something like that. All right, so now you should be able to say that I can find the vertex of a quadratic function and sketch its graph. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks.